Hi everyone. Recently I started doing something on my blog which is about eating disorders and recovery from them, which was I had asked people to send in questions and I would go down the list and I would answer them, one post per question, so that I was responding at length about whatever the viewer or reader was asking. And basically what it is what I do on YouTube, mostly for the eating disorder recovery collaboration that I'm a part of and on my own channel, but in writing form. And I noticed that as I'm answering these questions on my blog, there are a lot of really excellent ones, and just to benefit people that are YouTube viewers, I figured I would answer the questions in video format as well. So I'm just going to start with the first question that I got and kind of give you a little bit of detail, sort of like I did on my blog. I was asked, did you have a moment where you went from recovering to recovered, or was it fluid and went by without noticing? I ask because I'm at a stage where it doesn't feel like I'm actively recovering. It just feels like life. So, in response to that, I don't know that I can pinpoint any one moment, but I do remember several times when I would stop what I was doing and realize, wow, the eating disorder hasn't been a part of my thoughts or my life for a while. It's one thing to erase all behaviors and idiosyncrasies from your life, but it's another thing entirely to realize an eating disorder is no longer part of your thought process. For me, on a daily basis, I don't think about having an eating disorder. It seems like a piece of my past. The only time I think about eating disorders is when I post on my blog, make my recovery videos for people, lead my ANAD support group, or post responses to people on the recovery forums on which I'm a moderator. My own understanding of the matter helps me to help people, but it doesn't cause me to think of eating disorders non-stop once I'm removed from those arenas. Each day I wake up and I eat normally. I don't think about what I put into my mouth. This is a really big indicator for me. If someone asked me what I ate yesterday, I wouldn't always know. I'd have to think about it. That's really telling for me because in the past years I would know every single thing I'd eaten in the last week and I could name it all in 25 seconds. When I tell the women in my group that I drink regular Coke, they shake their heads in disbelief. When I talk about cream cheese on bagels, they almost gasp. To me, it's nothing. Not anymore. But because it used to be so severely something to me, I know how far I've come. It's part of the reason I consider myself recovered. The other part is that I don't feel I could help people in the same way that I do if I wasn't recovered. If there was always that little seed still inside of me waiting to grow, I don't think I could say the things that I say with such certainty. I don't think I could explain myself in the same way, and I don't think that I could push suggestions that I know work. When you feel that you are not actively recovering, but just living life, that's a definite piece of what I'm talking about when I refer to being recovered. When life is life, and all things eating disordered cease to exist. I used to be healthy and well, but still on occasion had to catch myself from following through with an eating disordered thought. I'd have to use positive reinforcement regularly to keep me going in the right direction. It could have been a year since I'd done anything remotely eating disordered, but the thoughts were still there from time to time. I was still recovering. Now it's different. The thoughts don't plague me. My life is freer. I'm content. I don't have the anxiety that used to follow many of my moves and moods. I'm a healthy weight, and I have been. When I started up my support group, I did it not as soon as I knew I was healthy and well, but when I had been healthy and well, mentally, emotionally, and physically, for a decent amount of time. Sure, I could have led my group after a year of being healthy and happy and well, but I wouldn't have felt removed enough from the issue. I wanted to be as sure as I could be that I wouldn't relapse, wouldn't be triggered by things or people, would be able to help with all of my being. That was really important to me. I started the group about 2 years after being what I loosely call recovered. I knew that I was living life. I knew I was able and capable. I knew it wasn't half wish and half truth that I would always be okay. I knew it was a sure thing, as sure as any confident person can be, that is. Although I had been recovering for years, I still had slip-ups, thoughts, and more thoughts, and was not totally and completely well in all ways. but I sit here now recovered for what I would say is just over 3 years. And by that I mean a healthy state of well and capable and free of my eating disorder for 3 years. Before that, even though I was committed to recovery, I would have called myself recovering. I hope that that makes sense. I get this question a lot, so I just wanted to sort of delve into it and really explain myself and my thoughts word for word. One thing though, please do not think for a second that I'm perfect or without fault. Please don't think that I don't have bad days and good days like every other human being. And please don't think that there aren't days when I look in the mirror and frown for a minute before I smile. I've only been on this earth for 25 years, guys, and I'm a work in progress like anyone else. But I'm free, and you can be free too. Trust me on this one. If you knew me 7 years ago at age 18, you'd think there was no way I'd be the woman I am today. You would have seen a scrawny girl with lack of confidence, lack of hope, and sad eyes. You'd see someone with problems wrapped around her sickly form. You'd see silence, pain, and fear. Today, I'm different, so different. So I know it's possible to achieve freedom. If I didn't know it, I wouldn't have the blog. I wouldn't run a group. I wouldn't make weekly videos with such conviction.